Okay, what up, YouTube? The fact that black men don't challenge black women enough is really damaging. I think the mistake that black men have made is that we've taken things on the cheek, right? We've taken a punch and we kept it moving. But what's happened is a lot of the unchallenged stereotypes and assumptions that black women have made about black men have spilled over to the point now where it affects black men, but it affects the black community overall. The women have come on and they often feel like they want to publicly shame black men, but what does that do? Okay? Other people, other groups outside see you as, your strength is only being, in terms of how strong your men are, right? So if black women come on and they try to shame the men to make themselves feel better and to remove accountability, what they're doing is hurting themselves, of course, but they're hurting the black community. The whole idea of, black men being dogs and cheaters, for example, what does that mean? It means that black men are, liars. We're not genuine, right? We're sneaky, we're conniving. So if that is a commonly known belief of black men, and if you're an employer, what is that going to mean when somebody's going for a job interview, okay? A certain type of job, maybe where you're around money, or maybe you are around certain types of goods, right? Maybe, some equipment or some electronics. What does that mean all of a sudden? Think about it. What does that mean if that's the stereotype about you, So often we don't do enough, okay? We don't do enough. And when black men want to defend themselves, the women want to come on and somehow attack the logic, right? You can attack the argument, but you don't have to attack my logic. It's sound. Like I said, you guys aren't going to come on and try to take some intellectual superiority and act as if, I'm not factoring in something, right? I typically try to factor in everything, and I'm the first one to thank somebody for helping me, if I missed something, if I didn't, factor in, this, that, and the third, you didn't factor in, the economy, or if you didn't factor in, geographic location, I didn't, and I'll go back to the drawing board. So, the women don't do it, okay? You guys are reaching. You're reaching, you're trying to deflect, and at the end of the day, you have black men, right? We're trying to salvage our image, okay? And the women have to understand everybody benefits from it. The women want to come on and act as if somehow us fixing our name is going to shame them. Look, the second America has a different view or a less negative view of black men, you will do well. You will benefit more than what you guys think in terms of you guys getting the degrees at this rate and the third. No, the second people aren't so fearful of a black dude walking down the street, you will do better. Right? I would wager that, you would do better quickly, as opposed to having the numbers of black women slowly increase in terms of those who are being professional. Because like I said before, to the outside world, your group, your racial group or whatever you represent is only as good as the men. Okay? So in regards to the video, okay, an example of, the women trying to reach and trying to make assumptions in terms of what I said versus what I didn't say. And it's the video that I talked about, the whole idea of darker black-skinned women using lighter-skinned black women as, some sort of a visual representation of, what's really going on, okay? And the reason why I talked about it is I'll get a whole bunch of stupid comments and PMs, okay, and I'll delete them or, whatever, about something, yeah, but then I get a couple about some women who want to come on and want to have a battle of logic or pretty much have a dick measuring contest when it comes to intelligence or, somebody's background or what somebody knows versus what somebody doesn't know, whether it's academic or, life experience, all right? And first of all, how can one's experience be more real than anybody else's? Right? I will never tell somebody you are wrong, right? If they're talking about something that they have experienced, right? I will just say you went through what you went through and I went through what I went through. Okay, my experience isn't more right than yours, but let me not get off topic. Okay, so the woman will try to come on and take that route. And I'm like, yo, that's not going to work. Okay, you can attack the argument, right? And you attack the argument by stating your own argument. Not trying to weaken mine. My argument is sound. My argument is set. You're not going to poke holes in it. So you're not going to win. So in the case of that video, okay, the women have missed the point. I've never said that, white men are not with darker skinned black women or that, white men do this or they don't do that. I've never said that. Of course it happens. I see it. Okay, some women, I know I got a comment where she was listing darker skinned black women with white men. Okay, I know that. Okay, I see it a lot. I see, just in my own background, I see, a lot of Nigerian women and different African women with white men as well. So I see it. But you're not understanding the point. I've got long PMs from darker skinned black women who have said black men don't appreciate our features, white men do. Black men don't find us desirable. Okay, I understand that. Okay, what happens next? Some of these same women now feel like they have to come on and, point out black men and somehow point out that black men are shallow or they're missing out on something good and great. Fine. If you believe that black men don't prefer darker features of black women, that's okay. But what happens next? Okay? The women will try to, give visuals to kind of nail in their point. Look at our love. Look at what's going on. You guys are missing out, yada, yada, yada. But if you put a picture of a white man and a darker skinned black woman, right, out there, it's not going to mean anything to a black man because we've already said, hey, we don't find that attractive. So it has no point, right? You have no impact. But the women are trying to come on and reinforce some point, right, that you guys are shallow, you're missing out on this, that, and the third. But they understand that putting a picture of, a white guy with a weck doesn't mean anything to us. Really, it doesn't. So what do? They'll put images of white men with black women, whether they're light or mixed, with features that black men have quote-unquote been on record as saying we like, as a proof of what's going on. And you're not proving your point. Okay, and when I made that statement, that's what the video was about, the women got off topic simply because they couldn't, address that point that I made. And I've yet to get any sort of comment that addresses that point that I've made on the video. Hence the whole idea of trying to sidestep and not, fighting logic with logic. It is what it is. That's the point I simply made in that video. You're not helping your case. You're not drawing any sort of attention to you. It's just only further marginalizing yourself. Okay, I'm not about further marginalizing any, black group. I'm about trying to get their voices heard. I completely understand the issues that darker black skinned women have, considering the fact that I am African, considering the fact that I have family members and women who are darker skin tone. I understand what's going on. But instead of addressing the issue, you're trying to sidestep it. And you're trying to use examples that, counteract what you're trying to say. Right? I've seen women leave me comments about, if you don't look like this, black men don't like you. And I'll go to their channel, whether it was fake or real. I'll go to their channel and they have these videos promoting, black love. And the women that they're showing in the video don't exhibit any of the characteristics that black women are saying, darker skinned black women are saying that we don't like. That's the whole point. Okay? You're trying to shame black men and make us feel, make us look a certain way, but it's not going to work. And that goes back to what I said in the beginning of the video about the whole challenging. Like I said, for far too long, black men don't challenge black women, whether it's on something serious in the middle or something trivial. We have never done it. So things have spilled over to the point where it hurts us, and if it hurts the men, once again, it's going to hurt the women as well. This is what I do. Okay? Half the time I'll come on with an issue, not because I got some stupid PM, right? Most of the time, we get a lot of ignorant comments and PMs. I disregard those. I can care less. But it's when I get the longer ones with women who actually can think. That's what gets me. These women actually have the logical power and the reasoning tools, but they're just not applying themselves to something productive. You're spending so much time trying to shame black men, and I'm like, I'm going to pick it apart because, I'm tired of it. Okay, certain black men may not care, okay, but the black men out here who are actually trying to do something productive, trying to make moves and just be productive, we have to fight it. People talk about the hip-hop culture and this, that, the thugs and all those people, they're not fighting the hip-hop culture. We are. All the negative, thoughts and images of black men out there, most of the black men aren't fighting that. They're not going up against it. They are isolated from that. We are going toe-to-toe with it on a daily basis. And we are the same men who are then turned around and asked to, turn water into wine. So, to me, I have to do it. Yeah, I understand that this isn't the most important of topics, but it's still a topic. Okay, and oftentimes little things kind of snowball into something bigger. And this is one of those conversations that people feel that are insignificant. And at first glance, it may be. But when you see the snowball effect of this sort of argument and where it can lead to, you just think about it. You sit back and think about where this can lead to. It has to be addressed. There has to come a point in time where black men have to say, hey, enough is enough. Okay, yeah, we're good to you of doing certain things, but hey, you're putting, extras on everything. So anyways, you guys take it easy. Tell me how you feel. God bless.